In the last video, we talked about consumer and producer surplus and calculating total surplus. We looked at the market for child actors, and we said it was in equilibrium at a price of $300. We said this was an efficient market. Efficient market just means that we're maximizing total surplus, so we don't have any deadweight loss. In this video, we're going to look at what happens if there is a change in the market price. So let's say child actors unionize and they demand equal pay as adult actors, which raises the price of a child actor to $500. Well, how is this going to affect our market? When this happens, we're going to create this deadweight loss, which means our total surplus has decreased and we've lost some consumer surplus to producer surplus. So producer surplus goes from just going up to 300 to all the way up to 500 now, and consumer surplus lost all of this area and all of this area to producer surplus. Okay, so a total surplus lost this whole triangle that is deadweight loss. Consumer surplus fell a lot down to this triangle up here, and producer surplus is going to be the area of this trapezoid. Let's look at another example here to kind of further cement this in our minds. So here we have the market for cameras. The market for cameras is in equilibrium at a price of $200. What's the value of our consumer surplus right here in this market? Well, we're just going to take the area of this triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 of 30, which is our quantity, times 500 minus 200, our maximum willingness to pay, minus the price. That's going to give us 4,500. Okay. What is the value of producer surplus? Well, we're doing the same thing. We're going to take the value of this triangle down here, right? So the 30 is our quantity, and 200 is our price, minus our minimum willingness to sell, which is 0. This gives us 3,000, right? 1/2 times 30 times 200. Okay, what is the value of total surplus? Well, total surplus is just the area of this entire triangle. So the easy way to do that, since we've already calculated consumer and producer surplus, is to just add them together. So 4,500 plus 3,000 is going to give us 7,500. We could also calculate the area of the triangle. So again, we're going to do 1/2 base times height. Okay, so 1/2 of 500 minus 0 times 30, because 30 is our quantity. And there it is. Also gives you 7,500. Now let's go ahead and put in a price floor. Now let's look at another example here, and we'll say a price gouging firm has decided to lower the price of its camera to $100. So now instead of charging $200, a firm has come in and said, hey, we're going to price other firms out of the market. We're going to lower the price to $100. What is the value of deadweight loss? What is the value of consumer surplus? What is the value of producer surplus? And what is the value of total surplus? So we can go ahead and calculate all of these again. The value of deadweight loss is going to be the area of this gray triangle right here. Okay, so deadweight loss is going to be 1/2 30 minus 15. So 30 is our quantity where we were in equilibrium, and 15 is where this triangle starts, right? So this is the quantity that we're going to be selling at now. So there's our height of our triangle. And now we'll calculate the base, 350 right here, minus 100, the bottom of this triangle. Okay, so 1/2 30 minus 15 times 350 minus 100 gives us 1875. So the area of this triangle is 1875. Now let's calculate consumer surplus. This one gets a little bit more complicated. So we've got this triangle up here, and then we've got a rectangle down here. And if we add both of those together, we'll get the value of consumer surplus. Let's start off with our triangle up here. 1/2, because it's a triangle, base times height. So our base is going to be 15. There's our quantity. Boom, 15. We move over here. This is 350. And 500 was our maximum willingness to pay. Right? So there's that triangle. 1/2, 15 times 500 minus 350. Now we need the area of this rectangle down here. So 350 down to 100. And again, our quantity is 15. And that's the area of a rectangle. It's just base times width. So consumer surplus is going to be the area of the triangle plus the area of the rectangle, which gives us 4875. Next, we want to calculate the value of producer surplus. So producer surplus is just this triangle down here. So we can, again, just use 1/2 base times height, or 1/2 of the quantity times our minimum willingness to sell subtracted from our price. So here we have 1/2 15 times 100, the price, minus 0, or 750. And then our total surplus. So again, we can calculate the total surplus by adding these two numbers together. And if we add consumer surplus and producer surplus together, we get that our total surplus is going to be 56.25. You could also calculate the area of this entire trapezoid right here. The takeaway from price shifts is that efficient markets are going to have the largest total surplus. We can see over here, this total surplus in this market is larger than the total surplus in our new market, where we have the price gouging firm in our camera market.